Are we ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Hi. Well, hello everybody. My name is Rick Broader, and I'm the
Can you
roads.
step like right in front of the microphone?
Yes,
There?
I can.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm Rick Broader, and I'm the road services director for King County. And we wanted to come out here and give everybody an update as what's going on with the slide on 356 Drive. Uh, as you know, we had some technical experts come in and take a look at the road this morning. We had it closed. And the goal was there is we wanted to make sure we had a second opinion on what was going on with the road. We wanted to make sure that we are doing everything we can to keep people safe. And what came out, they examined the road and they concurred with what we are doing today, which is to keep the road open on the limited basis that it is. That is, it has a load limit of about 5 tons. And also that we'll be continuing to monitor the road continually 24 hours a day to make sure nothing has changed. The big issue with the slide is that, obviously the storm and the amount of water, and also the very saturated soil that occurred through the month of January. And together, that's created the slide. And so it's good news in the sense that the road is going to be open. However, it is subject to change. If we had another big storm, we're going to definitely have to make sure that we can keep the road open. And we're going to continue to make sure that folks are safe. In addition to that, what we're doing is we're right now working on ensuring that there is an evacuation route should we have to close the road. So that's in progress as we speak, and we believe that will be in place around Sunday or Monday of this coming week. So we want to make sure that this road is available to folks, but also that should something happen with this road, there's an alternate that we can make sure people are not trapped. We will continue to work to see if we could use something like this route, this evacuation route, or another route as an alternate route should we have to close this road for some time and people need to get to and from their homes. So that's in progress. But we have an evacuation route that's going to be in place Sunday, so folks can feel that they won't be trapped should we have to close this road. We're also moving forward with a long-term repair. The technical people that came out today are also looking into what the long-term repair will be. That will take a bit of time. It'll probably take 3 to 4 weeks to get through the analysis and design. And so we're thinking it might be 2 months where we'll be in a situation like this, or perhaps a month longer than that. We're still in the evaluation stage. We really don't know the extent of the repairs. So that we will come back and let people know. But we want to make sure the community knows that the road is safe to use, but please respect the load limit. And if you see anything that changes, please report it. We have an 800 number, which is, well, it's the local number is 206-477-8100. So if you see anything, please report it. But we're going to be monitoring it 24 hours a day to see if there's any changes as we go through this time, this interim time when we're keeping the road open and getting ready to make the repairs. So I don't know if there's any questions.
Are you using any remote monitoring with that? I noticed you had your own survey crews back up there again.
We aren't using remote monitoring at this time. We're trying to do the global survey to make sure we know what's going on up the hill, on the road, and below the hill. And we'll be using that as reference as we go through the rest of the winter and into the spring. If we see that we can use some remote monitoring and it makes sense in terms of getting the information we want, we'll look at doing that. But right now, no.
There are a lot of other roads closed in the county, specifically right around us.
Mm-hmm.
How taxed are resources right now, given that you have to keep those roads open and you've got this one to deal with? Like, I mean, is that creating kind of a slowness to help get this road shored up?
Well, it's always a challenge when you have a significant event like this, but I would say no. We've been able to address, and Jeremy, who's the maintenance section manager, can certainly address that, but we've been able to get out and address all of the issues that have come up. And the first thing we want to do is make sure the road is safe. If that means close it, we want to make sure we understand what's going on, and then make the repairs as we can. But this situation is something that is significant. So if we had just this one event, it would still take the same amount of time. It's just there's a lot of analysis to make sure we do the repair correctly and we understand exactly what's going on. We would say this, that it looks like the road is stable, that people can get to and from, so it's not going to get closed, so people should feel comfortable using the road and getting to and from their house. We do have this evacuation route in progress should something change, so that they won't feel like they're going to be trapped. So I think the situation has changed so that access to and from looks secure, and we do have a backup in place.
The backup runs, can you describe kind of how it runs relative to where this road is now?
There's a separate route that's through private property. So one of the challenges was making sure that we had permission from everybody that we could actually use this as an evacuation route. So it's a little further to the east, and it runs through several different private properties using established roads.
Is this the roads, those roads are there, you don't have to grade anything?
There's some small work that we're doing right now to make some connections right at the top where it connects into the community with one private property owner. So that work's going on today and tomorrow.
Is it Forest Service roads or is it logging roads? What exactly?
It's private logging roads.
There is apparently another slide up above where the road is, where the stretch of 356 is.
Mm-hmm.
Did your team also analyze?
Yes, they looked at that too. And so, they're going to put that into the total analysis, and that's why it's going to take some time to look at what the complete repair is going to be.
I could see on the good side of the road, there's some cracking there too.
Mm-hmm.
How recently did that show up, and how big of a concern is that?
I don't know the details on that right now, but we're watching the road continually, and I think that was where, as you see some of these things develop, where our concern came from. And so things have settled quite a bit. Things have stabilized quite a bit, but we're still going to see some of that kind of distress in the roadway.
As far as the repair plan goes, we've seen several slides here, one 22 years ago in 2015, one last year.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of repair plan are you looking at to make sure that this road is stable for the next, couple years even?
Yeah, I mean, it is an active slide zone, and so that'll be part of the analysis and part of the design to see to what extent the repair needs to be, and from that we can decide what we're going to do.
Will you be doing more, from the video that I saw, looked like these guys were doing more, they were doing a lot of observations. I didn't see any drilling of core samples, anything like that, unless I missed something.
No, not yet. That will come.
That will come.
Yeah.
Would it help to tarp off above and below it to kind of prevent water from entering the cracks?
We'll look at that, but right now, no. I don't think that's going to be the issue. Yeah.
As far as services go for getting up there, God forbid there's a fire up there. Our fire trucks can they get up there, or even just daily services like garbage truck or?
We're working with all the first responders and with all of the service providers to ensure that either, that they use a smaller truck or that we connect with them and coordinate services. So right now the services are all available.
Okay, let me give the other update.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. So Jeremy Ferguson, I'm the maintenance manager for Road Services Division. Wanted to give you a little update about how we discovered this, what we've been doing throughout this timeline, and some of our other next steps. The evening of February 5th, we received a call through our front desk. That number is 206-477-8100 or 1-800-KC Roads. We staff that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with a live human being. So a resident called in about a 1.5-inch crack the night of the 5th. On the 6th, maintenance crews came out and started monitoring the crack. As we noticed that the crack was spreading, we took extra precaution and closed one lane of the road, restricted it. The following day, on the 6th, on Tuesday of this last week, we placed the 10,000-pound weight limit across the road just out of an abundance of safety, and we've been monitoring it ever since. After today's site evaluation, we made the determination to place somebody out here to monitor on a more frequent basis. Should we see something additional happen, we have road closure signs ready to go to close the road. Our hope is that nothing will happen before we get the evacuation route installed, but we'll have staff available to look at it 24 hours a day until we establish that evacuation route. We'll also bring in some floodlights too to help drivers in the area see the road as they pass through.
Would it help for you guys to have an open evacuation route both ways so you could have time to actually get in there and undermine that area and rebuild it properly without having people bug it all the time?
As we look at our repair scenarios, we will look at options to provide access, alternative access routes for the neighborhood. That's yet to come. One of the things that Rick mentioned is we need to wait and let the water kind of come through the soils. We need an opportunity to get in with the drill rig and do further evaluation before we can start determining what those repairs will be. I think the biggest thing that I can advise the public about right now is to please adhere to that 5-ton weight limit and stay out of the slide zone. So while it's safe to drive across right now, it is not safe for people to be walking around within the active slide area. Please don't go beyond the barriers. Please respect those. You can also sign up for alerts through our webpage. If you go to kingcounty.gov/roads, there's a number of options there. You can see our My Commute map as well as sign up for updates on the 356th Drive Southeast slide.
What is the full homes below the slide area, or I mean, are there? I actually don't know.
So the area that the slide is in, we would expect that if it did slide more, it would go down into the ravine. It is not directly above any homes, and it is not going to impact SR 202. Other questions? Yes, sir.
Halfway through the slide area, right in the middle, there seems to be a telephone pole right there with power lines running across. Is there some way you guys can reset that so that if it does slide, we don't rip all the power lines and stuff out without wondering?
So Puget Sound, Road Services Division have been in contact with Puget Sound Energy and other utilities. They're aware of the utility pole and its location, and they have been out to take a look at the pole. One of the things that they mentioned is that it would probably slide away and the lines would stay up. Correct. It would likely pull out, but they are aware of the utility pole and what the repercussions would be if the community lost power. Any other questions?
I want to thank you both for the excellent response to the crews.
Thank you.
Quick, it was fast, and it was accurate. So my one question is, what is the state of Washington doing to assist you?
Rick, would you like to take that?
So there's a process in which mainly the federal government has different agencies, FHWA, which is the Federal Highway Administration, and FEMA, provide assistance in these kinds of events. So we're in the process of putting together our documentation, and we'll see whether those agencies are going to have funds available for us. So. I'm sorry?
You anticipate needing them?
Well, this is an expensive event, so to the extent that we can get some financial relief, that would be great. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.